Hey guys, it's Liz and I'm here today to share with you a design team project for SaCrafters Shop on Zibbit. And this time I decided to alter a pretty little box. And if you guys remember last week, I made a mini album using some beautiful embellishments from Sa's shop. Here's the mini. Mother-daughter. And so I decided to continue with the mother-daughter theme, and of course the papers that I used on this collection were the vintage blue. They just worked really well with all the metal pieces that Sa sent in my design team package. So I had so much fun playing with the papers that I decided to create a box using the same collection for the mini. And in actuality, the mini was supposed to be able to fit into this box, but unfortunately I made it way too chunky and it doesn't fit. So the box will just be a little keepsake. And I started off with a regular cardboard box. It was actually a box that was part of a gift. It was some perfume. My favorite perfume was in the box, you know, as a little set. I got it maybe about a year ago. And I kept the box because it was nice and sturdy. I really liked the way that it opened up, and it was a really bright, cheerful yellow color. And I knew that one day it would come in handy, and today's the day. So, because the box was a high gloss, I have a really funny story, you guys. I didn't even think about it. I adhered all the papers to the box using Mod Podge. I left it overnight so it, dry, and in the morning all my papers just peeled right off. It was the funniest thing. So I had to do it all over again. And I should have known better because it was such a high gloss finish on the box. I should have sanded it down, but it didn't even occur to me. So that's what I started to do. I sanded all the edges of the box to get rid of some of that gloss, and then I used Mod Podge and adhered the papers all over again. And again, the collection I used was Vintage Blue. It is by Glitz Designs. It's an older collection, about maybe 2-3 years ago. But I've had it since last year, and it's such a beautiful collection. I really love it. I used up almost my entire paper pack. But anyways, let's move on. So the whole thing is covered with paper. I'm going to show you just an overview of all the sides so you guys can see all the pretty papers. And I just love the blues and the yellows together, and with the ivory. It's such a vintage feel to this collection. I really like it. And all my edges are inked with Vintage Photo just to age them up some more and give them a more antique look. And this is the top of the box. I am so happy with it. I think it came out just gorgeous. And I guess I'll start off with the top, and then we'll move on to the sides, and I'll explain everything as we go. So anyways, after I adhered all the papers, I wanted to definitely go with the mother-daughter theme, and I saw this beautiful image on Pinterest. It was like a free printable. So I downloaded it and I printed it out on my computer. Unfortunately, my computer isn't the greatest, so it may or may not look so good. But what I did is I just, took the image and I Mod Podged it onto a piece of cardstock to make it sturdier, because my printer will not take cardstock, so I have to do it on regular printer paper and then transfer it over. So that's what I did, and then I sealed it again with Mod Podge. I don't know if you guys can see that, but just to make it sturdier. And I just love that image. It is so cute, the mother and the daughter, really adorable. And this is a frame from Michael's, one of those little wood frames that you can pick up. And I wanted to give it a very distressed look, so I used Distress Stains by Tim Holtz in the Vintage Photo, just right over the raw wood, to give it that brown look that you see underneath the paint. And then I used the Elmer's glue technique, which is, basically you just add a thick layer of Elmer's glue onto, whatever piece you're trying to distress. And then before it dries, don't allow it to dry all the way, then I used the warm white acrylic paint right over that. And as it dries, it gives such beautiful crackles. Take a look. And it's the really big kind. So I really like the way that came out. And then once my paint dried, I went over the top of it with a little bit more Vintage Photo ink from my ink pad, just to age it up some more. And it just came out really nice. And in these little corners, I just added these cute little pearls from my stash. There was one here and there's one down here, but it got covered up. And there it is. And okay, so that's what I started off with my frame. That was my main focal point of the box. And this absolutely gorgeous butterfly is from Sa's shop. Look how beautiful it is. and it's very flexible. The metal is quite thin, so you can, bend the wings up a little bit to make it look like it's in flight, and it's just so beautiful. And then I used just a little piece of bling flourish to make it look like a little, like the little butterfly swirl, like it's flying around. That's really pretty. And I used a lot of cheesecloth in the background. I don't know if you guys would see it. There's some here. There's a lot over here, just all over before I adhered my frame. The frame is adhered on there using 2 strips of foam tape to give it more dimension. I really wanted it to be dimensional and to stand out from the rest. And over here I use these beautiful flowers. These are so pretty. These are by Martha Stewart, and the color was absolutely perfect for my project. It's like a soft yellow, almost like a mustard yellow, and it was just perfect. So I used 2 of those flowers. Didn't do anything to them. They were absolutely perfect on their own. And I have these skeleton leaves that I tucked back here. These are from I Am Roses. Skeleton leaves here, and then there's some down here. And then I used these little pieces of trim again. I did the same thing on my mini album last week, and these are so cute. They look like little leaves. Let me show you the trim so you guys can see. It's some trim that I picked up quite a while ago at a garage sale, and I have a lot of it. This is just a little tiny strip. But I just cut these little parts off, and it just looks like leaves. So I used those to tuck behind my flowers, just to give it another, vintage feel, because I know that for sure is some vintage trim. It's really, really pretty. So there's some here, and there's some down there, and then this mirror. Oh my gosh! Oops, sorry. The light reflects back, but this is an absolutely gorgeous mirror from Sa's shop. So pretty. All of these metal pieces that Sa sent me are just so beautiful, and they make your projects really, really gorgeous. You guys definitely need to go check her shop out, and I'm going to put the link below so you guys can go take a look. But she's got some amazing embellishments. So this is one of those mirrors, and it's so pretty. And I just adhered him on there with some E6000. And then what I did, I added 2 little buttons. These are the chipboard buttons. I used my Tim Holtz die. Used the chipboard, and then I cut it again using the pieces of scrap from the paper collection. And then I used Dimensional Magic on top. See? And then on this one here, I used like a little piece of tulle that I just have coming out from the little buttonholes. And then they're both inked with Vintage Photo on the edges to give it a more distressed look. Really, really cute. And over here I have this really cute spool. This, I picked it up at Hobby Lobby, the spare parts one. It comes already aged like this. It's like a brown color, but I did ink it up a little bit more with the Vintage Photo. And then I wrapped some little trim around it, and this is some gorgeous ivory trim that Bonnie sent me. Thank you so much, Bonnie. This was part of my winnings, and it was just so beautiful, and it went really well with the theme that I was going for. So I just rolled up some of that trim, and then I have some of it coming in and out like this, and I glued it just in parts to make it look like it's kind of like a ripple effect. So very cute. I love that trim. Thank you so much, Bonnie. It went really well with my box. Okay, and then I'm going to show you the front. The front is really cool. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? This is one of those filigree pieces from Sa's shop. So pretty. And the one that she sent me was in a bronze color, more copperish. And so I used my Tim Holtz alcohol inks, or Ranger alcohol inks I should say, in gold. And I dabbed it just in some spots because I wanted to give it that distressed look. See, take a look. And it matches perfectly. Look at the knob, right? And she sent me these cute little knobs. These are also from Sa's shop, and they're so neat because they're already distressed for you. They're an antique gold, and they've got like specks of black. Very aged. I just love the way they look. And so I just basically used the filigree as my back here, and then the knob right over it. Really, really pretty. Okay, and then down here, I wanted a little bit more detail. So I added these little pieces. These are die cuts from a Spellbinders collection called French Frills. And they're like little fleur-de-lis labels almost, if you guys can see. And all I did is I just used them almost like a little hinge in the corner. The edges are inked with Vintage Photo, and then I just accent them a bit with a little pearl on each side. Take a look. And the same thing over here. It kind of gives it like a little bit of like hinges on the side. And just another detail. And for my sides, I was looking at them and I just thought they were too plain looking, so I wanted a little bit more detail on my sides. And I took a distressed doily. This is the On the Edge die by Tim Holtz. I used chipboard to cut it out, and then I also used the pattern paper from the collection to adhere onto the chipboard. All the edges are inked with Vintage Photo, and I just love the details on this distressed doily. It's really, really pretty. And obviously, you know, since it's just an On the Edge die, you only get like this piece here, which is perfect. And then I accent it with, again, the little pieces of trim for my stash and a pretty little flower for my stash as well. And here's one more of those little mock hinges that I created with the Spellbinders die and the little pearl. And for the back here, I didn't add a pearl back here because I did want the box to close completely, and I thought maybe the pearl would get in the way, so I didn't do that on the back. Okay, the other side is basically the same thing as the other one. Very, you know, they're exactly alike, but I just thought that the distressed doily added such a beautiful detail to the sides, so it didn't look so plain. And then, I love the way this box opens. It's so cool. Oops, sorry. Okay, so then you open it up. It's got like a little magnet closure. It was already part of the box, but see, you use my little knob, and it opens up, and it's really neat. And again, this is going to be a little bit hard to show, but all the inside is completely covered with the paper. All my edges are distressed with Vintage Photo, and I love how you can see pops of yellow from the original color of the box. I didn't paint it or anything, it was already yellow like this. But since I did sand it down to get rid of the gloss, I wanted it to look more distressed, so I used Vintage Photo on all of my edges to give it that more distressed look. I hope you guys are able to tell. And that's the inside of my box. Really neat. It's a beautiful keepsake box. And let me see how I'm going to show you the rest of it. But see, the whole thing is covered with paper. Beautiful, beautiful papers. I just love these papers. Like I said, I'm all out. I'm probably down to just a few scraps. But I got 2 beautiful projects out of it, so I'm happy with that. And again, to continue with the mother-daughter theme, this is another beautiful image that I used. Again, I found it on Pinterest. It was one of those free images. Printed it out onto just a printer paper, adhered it to cardstock, Mod Podged the front of it to give it, you know, like a more aged look, because it does give it like a matte finish. And then I went over all of the edges with Vintage Photo, and then I adhered it onto a piece of pattern paper. I matted that on there, really pretty. And let's see, moving on. The back of this, before I adhered everything, I did attach this huge doily. It's like a 6-inch doily, one of those paper doilies from Michaels. I attached it to the back, and then this is just another strip from the collection. I just adhered that on there. Then I used foam tape to give dimension to this particular piece. I wanted it to look like an old photograph, so I used these cute little photo corners, and it just gives a more antique look. I love the way that looks. And so I just love this image. It's so pretty with the sweet little girls and their mama. So cute. And let's see. Over here I have a cute little spoon. Look at this spoon. So precious. And this is from Sa's shop. It is so pretty with an antique gold finish. And again, it already looks aged. I didn't have to do anything to it. It's just really, really cute. I took the spoon in there and just added a few flowers. This one's for my stash, a little white one. This one here I created using the Spellbinders Rose Creation dies out of the pattern paper, and I inked all the edges with Vintage Photo. I added a pearl in the center, and then of course little pieces of black bling. These are little flourish pieces. I have a you know how I cut up my flourishes, so I have like little different pieces, but they all went together really well, so I just added like a big flourish here. And some more handmade flowers on this side. These are all used the Spellbinders Rose Creation to create them, and I used the pattern paper, and again some pearls in the center. The larger one, this one I believe is, yeah, the larger one is from Sa's shop. She also carries all the flat back pearls in all kinds of colors and sizes, so definitely go take a look. And this little white one is for my stash, so that's pretty simple. In my title, I titled it Family. The mini album was called, you know, Mother and Daughter, and again this is just a continuation of that. This is a word from, it's a wood piece from Michaels, They come in like 3 per pack, and they recently had them on clearance for 29 cents, so I don't know if you guys can still find them. But this one, I left it the natural wood color, which I really like, but I did go over just the tops of it with the rock candy distress, I always forget the name. You guys know what I'm talking about. The distress crackle paint, there you go, and clear rock candy. I went over the whole piece of wood with that, and then it crackled really nice. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick up on the little crackles. They're very tiny. And then once that dried, I used Vintage Photo on the edges to give it a shadow, you know, just a shadow on the edges. And then I added 3 pearls to the F. Very cute, very simple, and I love the way that looks. It's so pretty. It's like a little surprise inside the box when you open it, because you're not expecting that. And again, the box is really nice and deep and sturdy. I can store, it was meant for my mini album, but unfortunately it didn't fit, but I can store, you know, anything really. It's a little keepsake box. And I wanted to create another item that goes with my mini, because I might give it away as a gift set, maybe to my mom or, you know, someone else. You never know. But it's just really pretty. I love the way my box came out, and of course all these metal pieces from SaCrafter just add such a, I don't know, like that extra something, you know, to your projects. And they're really beautiful, already aged for you, very vintage looking. It's just very neat. And so, I mean, I love that mirror. Look at that mirror. Isn't that cool? And that's my box, you guys. I hope you like it, and I had so much fun working with all these pieces from SaCrafter. I mean, it's not hard to create something beautiful, because those, you know, embellishments are already gorgeous on their own. So that is my box. I hope you guys like it. I really hope I didn't miss anything. Let me just kind of show you again real quick. If you guys have any questions or comments, you know, just go ahead and leave them down below, and I'll make sure to get back to you on that. The bottom's covered too, in case I didn't show you that. But just love these blues and yellows together. But anyways, that is it. That's my design team project for SaCrafter shop. Hope you guys like it. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to go ahead over to Sa's shop and check it out. She's got some amazing goodies, and for unbeatable prices, so can't beat that. Alright guys, I'll see you all real soon. Bye bye.